Actors Endurance Podcast, going live, giving you some good old entertainment industry news. So I hope y'all are ready. And listen, y'all, I love me some ginger beer. So if y'all want to buy me a ginger beer, I appreciate it. Non-alcoholic. No, I'm not getting turned on the podcast, okay? On the live. But what they say, dollar sign actors endurance. And yeah, dollar sign actors endurance. Hit that cash app, y'all. Buy me some ginger beer and then buy Marlon some real beer because he like to get his drink on. Just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, you can buy me a beer if you want. You can buy me a joint, a beer. No, all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
kick it.
yeah. All good. It's legal in some places. So and plus nobody knows what you're smoking right now. Hey, puff puff. Um
Yeah, true. I'll be sober for the lives. When I drink and all that, I like to turn up a little bit, so no cameras for that.
one day we'll have a little live where we just get our sip on. How about that? I think that'll be
All right.
fun.
That one day maybe it or not. All right. Well, we're here with y'all
Oh, that'll
live,
be
and
fun.
we're here with you
Yeah.
guys live, and this is for April the 7th, 2025. So we're
Hey.
rebranding everything and moving this on over to YouTube. So yeah, we're gonna have everything looking real cool in about a week, I guess. Figure this out. But for right
Listen,
now, we're just gonna do
eventually. Let's just say
eventually,
eventually. Eventually.
eventually it is coming. So uh we're gonna do a little house maintenance. Jeanette has a book on Amazon called The Actors Weekly Planner, sitting right there in your face. And oh man, I'm gonna have to Charlie Murphy myself because I don't have my book right on me. But yeah, check out her book.
Ooh, ooh, yeah. So it's the weekly planner, y'all. Tell me this ain't fly. This is the hardcover. It comes in a hardcover and a soft cover. They're both real fly, of course, because I made it. But anyway,
Huh,
look, this book
absolutely.
is for everybody, artist, entertainer. Come on now. It'll help you give you a little peek on the inside, help keep track of your weekly goals, your top priorities. It also has hold on. Got a little habit tracker in here, keep track of your habits. Make sure you're
Love
working
that.
out, hydrating, practicing your dialects and learning different languages, all that good stuff. Of course, the audition tracker, keep track of all your auditions, see who's calling you in, who's not calling you in, when are you booking, when you're not booking. And then, what are you reading? What are you watching? Television, film, keep track of all that good stuff. Because at the end of the year, you want to, feel accomplished. Because, this business, you book a job, then you're unemployed. Then you book a job, then you're unemployed. So you want to keep track of all your progress just so you feel better about yourself. Trust me, because this business is something else, is all I'm saying. But the biggest thing is, listen, y'all, never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your dreams. And, to keep you motivated, we also have in here, the beginning of every month, of course, you got the calendar, a little bit of history, and then, a little motivation for you. Just a little motivation. And if you're into coloring, you can color your own little statue. Do what you do. But yes, it's on Amazon, y'all. Make sure you get it. But listen, my partner, you got a fly ass book too, Marlon. Tell him about your book, boy. Talking about helping you
Ooh
book a
yeah,
job. What?
ooh
Let him
yeah.
know.
So after you get on your app, your planner there, and you actually get the job, then you want to use a book like this. This is the Actors Little Black Handbook, and this is a script analysis book. It is to connect your character's mind, the body, and the spirit. The book is broken up into three parts, and it goes into a process. So we take care of the character's mind, then the character's body, then the character's spirit, and we do that by asking a series of questions. So as you can see here, we have all of the categories that you would go under. This book is also available on Amazon. So now you'll see
Mm.
the character's body and the character's spirit. So I've talked to a lot of actors, and they normally have techniques to take care of the actor's mind or the character's mind, but rarely do they have for the body. And someone told me yesterday while I was on set, someone told me yesterday that very rarely do they find a book that ever covers the character's spirit. I have a whole section that covers the character spirit. So,
Mm-hmm.
show you real quick on how some of this is broken down in the book. Okay, as you can see, I have the opening for the character's mind here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get to the show. We just need to show y'all our products. So this is what the inside would look like. These are the questions that you would ask. It has practical applications and um, other techniques that's involved in it. So both on Amazon, if you go to Amazon and put in Actors Endurance, at the top of it, you're gonna see the weekly planner. Then they have some sponsored shit. I don't know what that's about. But get off my page, man. Get off my page.
Hey, come
You can
on.
see Actors Endurance. We are making some moves. All right. So
AE
uh,
everywhere. All right.
let's get
Let's get down
into
to
the
some news,
podcast.
y'all. Let's get down to some news. And listen, if you want to buy me some ginger beer, please go ahead, Cash App, Actors Endurance, so I can sip on my ginger beer, of course, with the pinky out. Okay, because that's how I do. Yeah. Um,
All right.
and then buy Marlon some beer or some weed or whatever he drinking
All right, you
because
don't have to
we like that.
worry.
We like to keep that man chill, and calm. You know what I mean? Yeah, 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 yeah. He won't be with the pinky out though. I can promise you that. Not gonna happen.
All
Well,
right.
listen, y'all. Well, go
You
ahead.
want to go? You want to go into the first article there, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was about to jump right in. I was about to jump right
uh,
on in.
yeah, put your
So
toes in.
we said what? Put my toes in.
Yeah, just dip your toes in. We ready to go.
Okay. I mean, I'll put these sweet feet up now. Hold on. Quit playing. I'll put these little sweet feet on. Listen, so I love me some Halle Berry. Halle Berry. Halle Berry. Yeah, Halle Berry. I love that song too, but Hurricane Chris shout out. Uh so yeah, Halle Berry, she was working with Chris Hemsworth. Did I say his name right? Chris Hemsworth. There we go. So they're working together and so Chris Hemsworth, they got a new film coming out. And what is it called? Doom, doom, doom. What is it called? It's a new movie called Crime 101. So it's an Amazon MGM Studios film. It's called Crime 101. And Chris Hemsworth, I thought it was kind of cute. It was like, oh, he said he got nervous working with Halle Berry. He said, I've admired her work for many years, and I obviously was very intimidated to sit opposite with her in a scene and, just be in awe of what she was doing. I was like, oh, that was sweet. And then Halle Berry, she said the same thing. She was just like, she also felt the same way. So I was like, okay. But then she said also that he's now one of her new favorite people. But one of the reasons why is not only was she admiring his work, but she also appreciated what he did with her. She said certain people just bring out not just the best in you, but also a sort of comfort level where it's like a safe place to explore and examine. And she said he's a stand-up guy. She said she won't get into it. She didn't say exactly what happened on set, but he did stand up for her in a moment in the movie. And she was like, I instantly knew right then that I'm going to follow this guy, be a big fan for the rest of his life because he stood up for a woman. I was like, wow. And he didn't have to do it. And I was just thinking, wow, not only do, women just love men because there's just something about y'all's aura and your presence and just the strength and the power that comes with just a man. We just love that. But it's just nice when, a man just steps in because he didn't have to do that and, stepped in on her behalf just to, I don't know, she didn't say what happened, but, just to get things done. It's a shame that we have to do that in this day and age. Like everybody should still be respected equally, but the world is the world, people are people. So that's just how it goes. But you know what? I'm a fan. I'm a bigger fan now because Chris Hemsworth, he is a cutie pie. I'll tell you that. He got them pretty eyes, and I love his little scruff. Come on, ladies, come on, tell me you don't like the little. Love the scruff. But yeah, he's a cutie pie. But I think it was great that he's not only did they have a great working relationship, but he also stood up for her when he didn't have to on set, which obviously made her day. So I'm looking forward to seeing that film, Crime 101. And we haven't seen her in a little while anyway. But I love that she's still, continuing. I think nowadays though, once you get into a certain point in your career, you kind of do a lot more of what you want to do versus, what you need to do or just asked to do. So yeah. Are you a fan of
Yeah.
Halle Berry, Marlon?
Been a fan since oh wow. I'm trying to remember what came out first. So I think the first thing that I remember her in was the Martin joint, Boomerang.
Okay.
It was either
Oh, okay.
Boomerang or it was probably Spike. I'm thinking that it was when she played Samuel's girl in Jungle Fever.
Mhm.
That was probably, so I can't remember. That was back in the 90s. My memory in the 90s is foggy at best.
Too
At
many
best.
beers. Too many beers.
Too many something, something, something. So, yeah, I was a fan a long time ago, and actually, my favorite movie is Baps. I love it because of the chance
Really?
that she took. More than she's done acting jobs that are that are better in a sense of emotional content, but Baps because she wanted to get out of the pretty girl. Like the way that we see Hallie now playing these multiple roles was because she took a huge chance early in her
Mhm.
career to not just be the pretty girl, not just be the pretty woman or Monsters Ball. She exposed herself, but she didn't really have to go, or she didn't want to go through that. So I admire Hallie a lot just for making that decision. In
Mhm.
Boomerang, she wasn't the pretty woman on there. It was Robin
Well,
Givens, actually.
yeah.
You
They had to
know, and
downplay. They did downplay Halle Berry a lot for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. And she still came in, did the short hair trend came from her
Oh, for
in that
sure.
era. And it was my girl Kelly Williams, or it's Kelly Jackson now. Kelly used to rock it short, and it was a couple of them, but Hallie was very, very popular with hers. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been watching her work for a while, and I love the way that people have to respect her professionalism more than they do her looks, and that's what she went for.
Mhm.
But speaking of which, she and you're talking about doing stuff that you want to do. She just rejected a role to reprise the role of Storm in the new X-Men. So she's not going to
Mm.
do it. Hate to disappoint anybody who was looking for her to be in it, but
Me.
she says it's not, she's not going to do it. So, but she's on a movie with Chris Hemsworth. So that's kind of dope that you could get to a point in your career where you say, you know what, nah, I'm not going to do that, and your pockets aren't hurt, and you don't have somebody telling you that you got to do these certain things to stay in the
Yeah.
industry. Like she has enough. So kudos, kudos, kudos.
I know that's
Yeah,
right. You know my favorite film with her. Have you seen Queen? The story
I
of
haven't
Alex
seen.
Haley? Oh man. When I say that is my favorite film from Holly Berry, write that down. And y'all that are watching, if you haven't seen Queen with Holly Berry, it's the story of Alex Haley. It is a very old, old film, but when I say an excellent, excellent film, one of my favorites, it's so good. I might watch it again. When I was young, I used to watch it all the time. Like I've probably seen it 50 million times. I can quote half the lines in it. But that was probably one of my favorite films from Halle Berry. But yeah, moving along. What else we got going on in the business? You got some more articles? Because I got a whole bunch of stuff to read off over here, boy.
Yeah, I have. LA sound stages are gathering dust, believe it or
Yep.
not. And a new
First time
film,
in a while, huh? Probably first time in
and
a while.
wow, probably the first time ever. So, in a new film, LA report. So this report comes from LA Film. It shows only 63% of LA sound stages were occupied in 2024, down from 93.5 between 2016 and 2022. The fewest onstage shoots in recorded history. So we were correct on that. Meanwhile, competing hubs like the US, New York, and Georgia have more than doubled their production space over the last 5 years, creating a perfect storm for Hollywood's bottom line. TV productions normally make up 30% of stage bookings. That is slumped to just 20% in 2023, aligning the industry with aligning with industry-wide episode count shrinkage and longer caps between seasons. Adding to the irony of this vacancy crisis hits just as investment firms were going all in, pouring money into acquiring buildings and sound stages, with 13 planned studio projects currently in the pipeline for LA at this point. As
Wow.
these struggles continue, the Stay in LA initiative, which I haven't heard of, but the Stay in LA initiative keeps fighting against a runaway production, pushing for studios to commit to at least 10% more LA based filming over the next 3 years. So a lot
Yeah.
is going on in LA. Down here
Mhm.
they have, they've opened up the incentives. They did it. I think they're going to do it in Alabama. I'm pretty sure they've already done it in New Orleans for the Shreveport, which is where 50 has theirs, Atlanta has theirs. They didn't even put New Jersey on this list. New Jersey is kicking New York's ass right now, and
Yes, it
nobody
is.
about that. So um, the industry is changing, and they're building a lot of sound stages. But I believe that those stages will be for the volumes, where you're actually perform in front of a screen as opposed to performing on sets.
Mm.
So maybe this is why. I mean, the other day, didn't Rob Lowe come out and say that if they shot Community, that TV show, if they shot it, they would probably be cheaper to shoot it in Budapest than it would
Hmm.
be in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
So that's becoming a major, major, major deal right now. Not only is it so expensive, but didn't Hollywood just burn down?
Yeah, it's always burning down and flooding, but they also will not give the tax incentives. That's why all these other places are coming up because they have better tax breaks for everybody. So I don't know, Governor Newsom, he's trying to make Hollywood competitive again, but it's so slow and doesn't seem like a lot of people have faith in it. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens because I don't know. I'll say it's like rolling the dice, rolling the dice. We'll see because one of the good things is even though they're not shooting in Hollywood, they're still casting from Hollywood. So all you actors out there, good job. Stay on it, keep working, get on Actors Endurance on YouTube if you need any advice or tips. And then, get the Actors Weekly Planner so you can keep up with everything going on in the business. Also, keep track of your own stuff. And as soon as you get the audition, guess what you're going to need? That handbook. You're going to need your sidekick. Listen, everybody out
Yes.
there right now in the dating world, everybody got a side piece. But listen, if you're in the entertainment community, you need that sidekick. Show them that sidekick again. And it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon, y'all. Get your little handbook, that sidekick that you're going to need. Bring it everywhere. Listen, Batman had a sidekick, Robin. So listen, y'all need a sidekick too. Bring it everywhere you need. It's going to help you book the job, keep the job, and get you another job. But
Yes.
listen, how many of y'all played Monopoly though as a kid? That was one of my favorite games. Even though it's one of those games when you start it, oh, it would take forever. That game go on 5-6 hours sometimes. That's a game, boy. What was your favorite piece of Monopoly every time you played?
um, the car. It was like the car, or
I knew
I
you
don't
were
know
gonna
why I
say
like
that.
to shoot. Yeah, I like to shoot too for some reason. Maybe
Mhm.
I probably drew a little Adidas sign on it or something when I was little, but definitely the car. Everybody wanted the car because it was the
Mhm.
coolest piece actually in the whole damn game.
Yeah, my favorite piece was the thimble. I just love being the thimble every time. Boom, I got my little thimble. I just thought it was so cute. So that was my favorite piece. Always got the
Second
thimble.
favorite piece.
Yeah.
That's the one that I used. That actually started with the thimble, but then I just wanted the car for some reason, so I went with the car. But the thimble, yeah, those are the
Yeah.
only two that I ever played with actually.
Hmm. Well, y'all listen. I tell you what, Monopoly is about to turn into a game show.
Mm.
So they're taking Monopoly, and it looks like they passed on Netflix, so I don't think it's gonna be a Netflix thing. They said Monopoly is passing. Oh no, Monopoly is passing Go at Netflix. I read it wrong. Don't worry about it. Don't trip. Don't trip. So Netflix is bringing this Monopoly TV show, actually game show, into this unscripted space. So it says this big ticket reality show that can work in the streaming space. What else is it saying? The Monopoly series is hoping to bring the legendary game to the real world on a large scale. So everything from, you know how when you play Monopoly, you gotta have strategy. It's good to have alliances if you can. And it's cutthroat, y'all. It's cutthroat because everybody's trying to take everything, get that money, and win it all, and stay out of jail. Of course, you
Yeah,
got to stay
right.
out of jail, right? But it's pretty cool though because the contestants will battle for fortune and navigate the fine line between capitalism and chaos. So players will test their friendships, acquire riches, and try to win by any means necessary. I think that's going to be an interesting thing. I definitely want to see it because I'm curious how they're going to set it up. What is the game going to consist of? Like, how is it going to play out as a game show? But I'll tell you another thing. That board game is about to go up. So I don't know if it's a publicly traded company, but hey, go ahead and invest in it right now. Because I bet you that stock gonna go up in a little bit if the game show is good. I think because you remember Squid Games, that was a great show. The Squid Game, even though that was an actual TV show, but that challenge, yeah, the Squid Game challenge, the Golden Ticket, Willy Wonka. So there's been a lot of these competition series. So this is pretty much like the same thing. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna work. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this Monopoly thing? Hmm?
We'll see because I'm trying to imagine real life. Like, I mean, are they really going to get cash? So, are they real investors that have the money and they actually go and buy whatever it is, or is the show going to give them money to make the
Mhm.
purchases? And almost like what was it? You Are Fired? Whatever that Trump show was. Uh,
Yeah. Well, remember when you play Monopoly, you start off with a little bit of money anyway. And then every time
right.
you
So,
pass go, you'll acquire the 200. So I wonder, I mean, so they should, if they keeping, true to the game, everyone should start off with the same amount of money. And then you start rolling the dice to get around the board and acquire this, acquire that. I wonder what jail looks like though on there. And then there's another thing, when you can't go past go or like, I don't know. I'm just real curious to see how they're gonna play it out because it's an interesting game. Not only that, Monopoly can last forever. So how long is this show gonna last?
well, I'm pretty sure people are going to go broke landing on Baltic Avenue or some shit like that. I mean, and how do you like this would be really interesting because in the game you roll the dice and you take a few steps, but in real life, like, are you going to roll dice and then how do you end up landing on somebody's property? How do you actually land on a property to buy? Then you got to deal with the bank, and you know what I mean. Like, people forget
Hmm.
that the bank in that whole thing too. So
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna take this over into a real life situation, but it'll be interesting. And if that is successful, then what's next? Scrabble, chess, like live
I
chess would
like
be dope.
sorry. What about sorry? Huh.
Yeah, sorry, with that's a game you play against with your enemies because sorry and Uno in real life that would be great. I don't know how you
Hmm.
do Uno. Uno is a
Listen.
vicious game.
Yeah.
Um,
Ain't no telling. Ain't no listen,
but
they
this,
they they got some crazy stuff out there. And it's like, it just seems like they're just trying anything. So hey, I
yes,
mean,
uh, and I believe because the new content creators are going to be people like us, and like the old Hollywood shit is just not really working anymore. I think that the audiences are demanding more. So Hollywood, just like anything else, draws back on things that already work. That's why we keep seeing these reboots on everything. The problem with reboots is that the audience that originally loved it doesn't like the reboots. So you still have to find a brand new audience within an older concept. And this has been
hmm.
going on with Hollywood for years. Old concepts, new audience, and I guess they're just gonna throw this at the wall and see if it sticks. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Reality TV, unscripted my ass. Reality TV is always scripted. You know, always scripted. Now, you may have to improv in there, but no, they're telling you what to do. reality TV shows are not the best because they force you. Like if you and I did a reality show, we may be enemies by the end of season two because of all the shit that they would, try to get us to do to create controversy. So um,
Hmm.
this is reality based. It may be like Lost. Not was it Lost? One of those shows, the Great American Race or whatever all of that stuff was, where they just set up all of these competitions. But be pretty
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Be
I mean,
pretty.
I might watch an episode just to kind of, see what it's about, see what it's like. But anyway, well, speaking of Hollywood, the SAG-AFTRA commercials contract expiration date has been extended again. But the
Mm,
good thing is, it does seem like the negotiations have been productive. So that seems like a good thing. Sorry, y'all. My dang on dog. He just want to always be in the live. But it seems like the negotiations have been productive. So I think the continuation. Well, that's what they say. In order to facilitate the continuation of productive negotiations, they extended the deadline until what is it? Next Friday, April 11th. So they're still working it out. They said the advertiser once again, decided to extend it as they hash out uh, successor agreements. A lot of this has to do with AI. A lot of it has to do with pay. So, I mean, I'm glad they're avoiding the strike because that's always bad. So hopefully they can come up with some type of agreement. But you just never know. You just never know. But, again, they're extended until right now, the April 11th. So let's all cross our fingers, y'all, that everything goes well. If you are SAG after, it affects you. If you're not, it somewhat affects you. Not really. So just wanted to give y'all that little tidbit of information.
yeah. Wow. That's going to be an ongoing thing we see now. But speaking of getting some stuff together, did you hear that Ice Cube is setting for the Friday sequels, and he's doing it at Warner Brother and New Line Studios. So Ice Cube's been trying to do this for forever, and he got
Mm.
really pissed off because he wanted John Witherspoon, of course, to be in it. Rest in peace, brother. Um, and they couldn't get the final one together. So I'm not sure of how much he was really trying to get Chris Tucker to come back but to reprise his role as Smokey. So, but I thought that all of that was in the works, and it all got kind of killed. So, this article in Deadline says the Grammy winner has inked a deal with Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema to write and reprise his role as Craig Jones in Last Friday, the fourth entry in this comedy. Friday from 1995. Next Friday was 2000, and the Friday after next was 2002. Wow, what a hell of a franchise. New Line Cinema CCO Richard Brenner revealed the news in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter after he closed a deal with the star, who previously teased that the sequel that finally got some traction in 2024. This was June of 2024. So Ice Cube is quoted as saying they have a new relationship. My man Mike DeLuca, who used to be at New Line Cinema when I first started, when I first did the first Friday Players Club and All About the Benjamins. Mike DeLuca was there, he explained at the time. So now he's running Warner Brothers. So I didn't know anything about this. So Mike DeLuca is running Warner Brothers. This added Ice Cube. And him and my man Mike Gruber was like, yo, what the fuck is going on with Friday? Man, let's get this shit back online. And basically now through that conversation, the final Friday is coming. So not
Man.
pretty much. I don't think it's really that much more detail on it. Um, but we're gonna keep our eyes out for that because Friday is an absolute cult classic. I wish that they would redo Half Baked. I really wish they would do
That
Half Baked. Now, I don't like to bring a
would be a
lot of
good
shit back,
one.
but Half Baked and Fridays, um, I
Yeah.
mean, I think Are We There Yet has surpassed the whole Friday franchise, and it's like, nah, go back to the one that really put Ice Cube on. I'm happy for the
Yeah.
brother, and I'm interested. I mean, Tiny is gone, John is gone. You know what I'm saying? So it was a couple of people.
Ezel. Ezel is
Yeah,
gone.
actually, Ezel was first.
Yeah.
Died of diabetes, I believe. So, for you
Yeah.
guys out there with health, we had a lot of people over the past 4 or 5 years pass from diabetes. And, people like Dame Dash and those guys. Actually, Irv Gotti just passed from diabetes, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
Take
diabetes,
care of
if you
yourself.
guys are suffering from that, then please figure out a way. You probably have to change your diet and your lifestyle. But I am not a diabetic, so I will not be throwing any nothing on it because I don't suffer from it. But whatever you need to do, get yourself healthy again.
Yeah, let's take care of
Um,
yourself. But in the Friday franchise, I think at this point we don't even need Chris Tucker anymore. Like he would be great, but I think he did his thing in the first one. Then we had two more, and they were great as well. So I think I trust Ice Cube's judgment. I think that whatever cast he puts together, he's gonna put together a phenomenal film. I think because you can bring back a lot of the older, the other people that were in it, but I think he did it excellent,
oh,
excellent
Bernie's not here
job.
either. I'm thinking about the movie. Bernie's not here. I believe the little person passed away too. Miss Parker's husband. I think he
Mm-hmm.
passed. So it's
That's
been
what I'm
quite a
saying.
few.
Yeah, but he
Wow.
can bring, but I'm sure he can bring back some, some other people, or just had a new cast like he did with every film and just change it up. So I think it's going to be a phenomenal film when it comes out. I'm going to see it first week in theaters just because I'm a big fan. But I think that's that would be a great thing for him to do. And we've been waiting for it forever. So really,
Whatever.
he can't mess it up. He better not. He better not.
Oh,
Come on, nice.
I
But no,
would.
he got a great track record. I think he's an excellent writer and all that. I think it's gonna be great. No doubt
And
in
I
my
agree.
mind.
I agree. I think it'd be great, but it would be phenomenal to start it with Smokey and end it with Smokey. I think it would be phenomenal. And I'm looking at Chris. I'm like, all right, Chris, you know what I'm saying? Been a couple of years. All of the rush hours are done. Like, you're not going to mess your brand up by going back home. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? Because I
man.
know that back in the day, when you're getting, well, I think he did that. And then the Fifth Element. Once he did the Fifth Element, he became a star, like a
Yeah.
superstar. In there
Yeah,
with
his brand grew, and I understand that. That's why he didn't want to go back to it because they weren't. He was on a different level now. Whatever they were paying here, no, he surpassed that. So he didn't have to do
yeah.
that anymore. Great role for him, but like I said, if he's in it, wonderful. If he's not in it, wonderful. I don't really care. I just want to see it because I know Ice Cube does a Friday movie. It's gonna be phenomenal.
Whenever
Definitely.
he does something, I will give Ice Cube his props. I can't remember him and so All About the Benjamins was cool, but there was another one where
That
it was
was great.
about um it was about they were on the show and like show managers and show promoters. It was like janky show promoters or some shit like that. That was the only one that slipped under the radar
I
with a lot
know.
of people.
I'm about to say look it up because I don't even know. I don't know what that
It was
is.
like
Yeah, we can
janky.
come. Just
It
put in Ice Cube
it's
films because I don't know what.
he,
Yeah, I thought I saw a lot of his. Well, Ice Cube, I think is just like a genius. I love his entrepreneurialism, like the way he goes from anything that he does is success. It's successful. So, and then his son's following in his footsteps. Looks just like him. He's a great actor too. So I think it's wonderful.
yeah.
But
Oh, that's what it was called. Janky Promoters. That's what I thought it was. Janky Promoters, 2009. It was him and Mike Epps, and I'm not sure if it was their first movie
oh yeah,
together. I believe it started. I
hey,
believe it was like the start of them.
what's up with GK? Hey, she put it in there too. Janky promoters.
Ah,
I love
hey,
it.
GK, how you
Say what's up. Yeah. Janky from I had never seen that one, so I had to put that on my list of things to do. You know where I'm gonna put it? In my Actors Weekly planner, so I don't forget it. I'm gonna write it down. Yes, I am, so that I can. Yeah, I don't know about you. I like to use pencil just in case. Sometimes I use pen, but I use pencil. I'm gonna write it down right now because I don't want to forget. And that's what you do when you have a planner. Hold on, wait, let me find my little tab. Where we at? What week are we on? There we go. So yeah, I think anything Ice Cube touches is a wonderful, wonderful thing because he's always making some hits.
Yeah,
Now,
and while she is doing her acting duties, which you all should be doing, um, Antoine Fuqua, I be
Fuqua,
messing his name up.
yeah,
Fuqua,
Fuqua.
sorry, brother. Sorry,
I think
sorry,
it's
sorry. But my
yeah, I
man
think it's
Ant Man
Fuqua, right?
Fuqua, I believe it is. Yes.
Fuqua.
Thank you, JK. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Wow.
you, GK.
Yeah, we. If y'all don't know, we met on a GK set. Well, not her set, but it
Yeah,
was
her
a
premiere.
screening.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
screening. Yeah, it's like how would they know, Molly? They wouldn't know. So go ahead and tell them. That's how we met. Yep, at a
yeah,
GK screening.
um,
Hey, GK, and thank God
yeah.
for that, boy. I'm telling you, I'm keeping this man for life. You hear me? For life. Best partner ever. Best partner ever.
Ditto,
Yep.
ditto, ditto. But yes, going back to Antoine here, he's redoing or he's doing the Michael Jackson biopic. Uh,
Hey.
wow. So now his was crazy because so the Michael Jackson biopic, Michael, could be split into two parts. The release dates are in flux. So because it's about 4 hours, they're
It's a
planning.
4-hour movie. Timeout.
Yes, yes. Um, their explanation is when you think of Michael Jackson's life, and this is a quote from the article. When you think of Jackson's life from Gary, Indiana, to the Jackson Five, to Off the Wall, to Thriller, and his undoing, this it's an epic story worthy of Tupac's a la Wicked. So they're kind of
Wow.
comparing, you know, that so we don't know when
Wow.
that's going to come about because it's been so long. I think that they're anticipating that it's going to be out maybe sometime in 2026. But
Okay.
the Michael Jackson biopic is coming out, and Antoine doing it. We know that it's going to come with the highest of quality, and I'm hoping that the script has the highest of respect for Michael. Um, I don't know what it's going to show. I know I'm a cringe at the allegations. I always thought that was bullshit.
Me
Um,
too.
yeah, it was
Me
some other
too.
things going on behind the scene. It just seems like when Michael was ready to release his number ones, all of us, well, I won't say all of a sudden, but Elvis's number ones were being released at the same time. Now Mike goes to jail, Elvis's album sell again. And Michael was going on tour, his history tour. But the Rolling Stones and all of these other great rock bands were going on tour at the same time. And what people don't realize is that when Mike comes through town, all that other shit is gone. Mike would have crushed all of whoever wanted to see them because the Rolling Stones they were old when I was a kid. So their audience is going
Mhm.
to be older people. But Mike, you could have a 5-year old in there all the way up to 100-year older in the same
Yeah.
concert. So
Hmm.
opinion, that was kind of a way to eliminate him so that the other catalogs could make money. Because you're not, I don't
Mm.
care who you are in this day and age, you're not going to outdo Mike. Not even Prince could do it. Not Prince,
Yeah.
not Charles, nobody. Michael Jackson, when I was a child when I saw Michael Jackson at I think it was Capitol Center. It was $50 a ticket, and he was the only one who could go and fill a stadium up. Not these little convention centers. We're talking stadium. He had a stadium tour around the world. Nobody was
Hmm.
doing it like that. You still
Yeah.
can't.
The biggest star, the most famous entertainer. And do you know, I just Googled how many Michael Jackson movies have been made. They said at least 39.
Wow. Wow.
That's a lot.
39.
I'm like,
Wow.
good goodness. At least 39 movies about Michael Jackson? I mean, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Like, I don't know why they're doing another film about Michael Jackson. Like, haven't we done that and seen that? But like you said, he's such a big star. Everybody's gonna go watch it. Everybody.
So why don't
Yeah.
we biopic Prince then? I've
I
never
don't
seen a
know
Bible.
why. I would love it, but I don't know. I would love it. I would love it because I love me some Prince. I love me some Prince now, but I don't know why. But yeah, Michael Jackson, boy. So I'm sure this film is going to do well, and I do like that Antoine Fuqua is doing it. So I have a little more hope that he'll do it right. But I'm just mad that they're doing it. Why can't we just make a film about somebody else? We have 39 at least. I mean, good lord. So anyway, let's see. I'm curious to see how it's gonna come out or whatever. Mike was wonderful. I wish I had met him. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about the movie. I'll probably, well, depending on how the trailer looks, I'll go see it or not. I don't know in the theaters. I'm just being
Not,
honest. If that trailer
not,
don't look too good, I'll wait and stream it. But if it looks really interesting, then I'll go to the film to the movie.
oh, okay. Well, not
What
the
about
same
you, though?
enthusiasm. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do the same thing. Kind of wait for it because
Mm.
some of the stories that were written about Mike. I'm like, I don't know. The best Mike movie that I ever saw was the behind the scenes of Thriller when he was
Mm.
actually doing the behind the scenes. That's the only, and I'm not. It was probably never considered. It was
An
probably
actual
never considered.
movie.
Yeah, but let's not get it twisted. Everybody wants to talk a whole bunch of crap about MTV. MTV was nothing until they showed that video.
Mm.
MTV was only in Europe, and it was a bunch of like really. You remember them old
And
European videos where they had the neon and like it was stuff
yeah,
that was
horrible.
uncommon.
This wasn't that
Yeah,
good.
nobody was watching it. And this was back in the day when video jukebox was out. Like I'm taking y'all back a little bit. Video jukebox before VH1 bought it and all of that. So they had this battle going on, and MTV stepped up on top after that Michael Jackson Thriller video, which is why Michael Jackson has 39 movies, because nobody in the world could have put an entire business on their back and carried them. Michael
Mm.
carried them for a while, and this is when they were making really like that was the first really creative video, like really not just a cut, dance, dance, dance. Like the first video that had a storyline behind it that was like almost a movie.
Hmm.
And that changed everything. So now that MTV is all big and all of that, I'm like, yeah, do what Jim Carrey does and acknowledge where you came from.
I
Acknowledge
love me
what
some Jim
you
Carrey, boy. I love me some Jim Carrey.
yeah. I love Jim. He goes back every time somebody starts doing this, starts japping them jaws. Oh no, 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 no. It was Keenan who put me on when y'all said I
Hmm.
wasn't. It was Keenan who put me on for
Yeah,
years. When
and
you
before
guys rejected my comedy.
and before Keenan, it was either I can't remember if it was Marlon or Sean that introduced him to Keenan. That was like trying
Yeah,
to get him in Keenan's ear, like, oh, you gotta meet this guy. You gotta meet this guy. It was either Marlon or Sean. I can't. I don't think it was
they
Damon.
were
I think it was
young.
Marlon or Sean. Huh?
They were young. They were young. And to me, I would have to say it
Mhm.
was Damon. I don't
Okay.
think
Well,
Marlon didn't come on the show until maybe season two.
but it had
Sean was
nothing
as
to. Yeah, but they met like outside of the show. They were doing something else together. They had nothing to do. It wasn't anything about the show. They were doing something else, and they had just randomly saw Jim performing somewhere, and they were just telling their brother. But it was one of the brothers because it could have been
hmm,
Marlon, even though he was younger. It could have been. It was one of the brothers. I can't remember which one. I'm gonna
he
Google
would
it.
have been in high school. It's interesting that if Marlon was getting around like that, because he would have been probably near high school. I think he was still in performing arts school with Michael B. Jordan and those guys. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I think that that's why we had our discussion the other day about which one was probably the most talented. I think that Marlon, with his training, is
Hmm.
probably why he has a little bit of an edge. But I think he was the only one to actually really go through a performing arts school and do it like that. But I do remember SW1 that was their DJ, and that was hype. Like I love the Wayans. I love that the
Okay.
majority of that show was the family members.
And you were right, it was Damon. So Damon introduced Jim Carrey to Keenan, and then that's how we got on the show. Yep.
Yeah, because he was already doing Damon was already doing stand up at that time. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of remember that time, even though my brain is foggy. But I
Mm-hmm.
do remember that.
Do you remember? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I had to throw
um,
that in there.
but I mean, because the first time that I actually saw Marlon in anything, I think it may have been something on the show. But remember, he did a movie with Damon. I got the hook
Oh,
up.
that was
No,
the best. I love that movie. It was
yeah, I forget
uh
the name of it, but
I can hear the song too.
yeah, what's her name was in it. This was back when
Oh
they,
yeah, when Stacey Dash.
yeah, when she was black. Did I know that was a little bit of a dig, but
Yeah,
she
leave
did a
her
whole bunch.
alone. She's always been black.
Um, at least, well, this is when she was recognized as a black woman. All right, let me stop.
Oh,
But
more money, more
Mo
money,
Money,
more
yes, Mo
money.
Money,
That
yeah,
was a great movie. I love that movie, boy.
yes, 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 yes. So they've
That
been in the
was a
business.
great movie.
They've been in the business for a while. I mean, even back when I was in high school, I skipped senior skip day. We went to go see "I'm gonna get you, sucker." That was dope. Was dope, dope, dope. This was right after Robert Townsend's Friends in Crime. What was that? Partners in
Um,
Crime. Partners
okay.
in Crime. So when he came off of that, and they did when the Wayans did that, that was the start of everything that we see out of them now. Was I'm gonna
Yeah.
get you, sucker.
Yeah, and I
And
love that they continue in their journey, man. I love it. So y'all, if you haven't seen Papa's House, go ahead and check that out with Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr. But listen, y'all, we here for a good time, not a long time. And real quick, why are y'all teenagers acting a daggone fool in these movie theaters right now? Tearing it up, got the police coming, popcorn everywhere, cell phones, people getting escorted out. You can't even go to a theater right now if they're playing this daggone what is this movie called? The Minecraft movie. So wherever they're playing the Minecraft movie, y'all be careful because listen, they got cops everywhere stationed out because y'all are just acting a fool. So everybody, all these people are going to this Minecraft movie, and soon as they see and hear chicken jockey, which I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna find out, and I probably won't see the movie. But anyway, anytime they hear chicken jockey, what are they doing? Going crazy, standing up, screaming, popcorn everywhere, just tearing the theaters up, boy. I said, oh my Lord. Now, some people like it, and then some people are like, I paid all this money for this. Now they can't even enjoy the movie anymore. And then the movie theaters, they're getting mad as hell because, that popcorn is hard to pick up and it's just going everywhere. So all the butter on the seats and all that good old stuff. Y'all, if y'all don't quit playing, I'm sure they probably spilling drinks and everything. They're just tearing these movie theaters up. So now, yeah, it's just crazy. So yeah, y'all need to stop this. You all need to stop this. It's kind of funny, but kind of not. I'm glad that I'd be upset if I went to the movies and can't even see the movie. Or I see chicken jockeys and everybody screaming and popcorn flying. I'd be upset, boy. But yeah, so that's
they
what's
have.
going on with the Minecraft movie. I don't.
I think if we actually played Minecraft, we would probably understand what all of this is about. But I'm actually watching footage now of when they do it, and the theaters is going nuts.
Yeah, I tell you, where they standing in
Oh my
first place,
god!
they're
Oh
watching the
my
movie with
god!
their phones, so they on there, they watching the movie like this. They watching the
Yeah!
movie, and then as soon as it chicken jockey, boom,
Wow! You should.
and they're losing their freaking minds. It's funny.
Have you
So
seen
y'all
it? I
listen,
just
if
saw
you
a
go to the
clip of
movie
it.
theater,
Oh my
respect the
god!
theater, man. If you're gonna jump up and scream, at least keep your popcorn in the bag. You pay for that probably expensive old stale popcorn. Don't throw it at people. Lord have mercy. But anyway, the police is coming for you though. They sure are. They got them every single screen. They got them. So I don't know, man. That's what's going on in the news, man. We just want to come in for a good time, not a long time. Get on Amazon. Check out our books. Where you book at, Marlon? Bam.
Oh, right here. Kaboom.
Bam. Listen, you know we are all things Actors Endurance. Actors Endurance on YouTube, all social media. Get on Amazon, Actors Endurance. So all you actors out there, if you're trying to get into business, if you need any tips or anything like that, or hey, you need to stay organized, you want to book a role, keep a role, you just want to work on your craft, which you should be doing regularly. Yeah. Get on Amazon, Actors Endurance. Listen, y'all, we're gonna be going live pretty regularly here. So, definitely check us out. Every time you're on YouTube and you see us, we're gonna giving you, just information about the industry and we gonna talk a little smack in the meantime. Why not?
Yes, yes, yes. And with that, we're gonna be out of here. Glad for everyone that joined us. Thank you for joining us, Solomon, and our buddy, my East Coast buddy here,
Man.
GK.
Yes.
Um,
GK, thanks for
yeah,
joining
yeah.
us. Definitely appreciate it.
All right,
Mhm.
and we're gonna be out of here, y'all. We'll see y'all on the next one.
All
Peace.
right. Peace.